Okay, that's on live now on Hangout on Air. So yeah, basically it's the first class. So we just explained all the students sort of some of the key benefits of having a mobile social media into their practice and creative thinking. But probably it would be nice if you basically explain them what we've done over the last 4 years and the more core project and what you do as well with your students in Manchester. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, hi everybody, and welcome to the elective. I think you're going to have a really good time, actually, with Laurent. And it's a really useful thing that you're doing here. And in common with Laurent, I work with my students to get them to kind of develop a professionalized online presence and a work showcase, while they're students. I mainly work with audio and video engineers, but myself and Laurent and Tom Cochran and Philippe Cardona, who I think you'll probably meet in a couple of weeks' time, we've been working together for about 4 years now. I'm based in Manchester in the UK, Philippe's in Colombia, and obviously you're there in Auckland. And we basically encourage our students to collaborate using mobile and social media. So I'm going to talk to you a bit about the kind of things that we've been doing today, and I've actually tweeted a few examples out about 10 minutes ago to just a few films that some of my students did last year that might be kind of useful for you to have a look at. So I don't know how much you know about what we're doing here, but essentially, we do a lot of work with our students, whether they're from graphic design or animation or video engineering or anything else really, using the devices in their pockets, because as you're all aware now, the majority of people are using phones that are also media production devices. You can shoot, you can edit film. Importantly, sharing is such a big part of kind of video production now. There's this real sort of social side to it. Now, a lot of the, short videos that you'll see made with mobile devices are quite kind of frivolous, and, they really are social. It's just sharing bits of everyday life with friends and family. But, we're really interested in kind of pushing it further than that and seeing, how interesting can you be in a short space of time? How creative can you be in a short space of time? How do you make content that people want to share? That's really important. That's a very important skill to have in this day and age, because let's face it, there's a hell of a lot of video online. How to make something interesting and something that captures audience attention within a few seconds, that's quite a different skill set from traditional longer form video making. So that's the kind of thing that we focus on, really. So I'm just going to talk to you really about what we've been doing earlier this year, which was it's more of a project. It's a community rather than a project, and the community is defined by a hashtag, and that's hash Moco360. Possibly maybe nearly 250 students from New Zealand, France, Colombia and the UK. And for using this Moco360 hashtag, everybody was able to kind of get a feel for what one another was doing and share ideas and share work and potentially collaborate. Now, there are lots of different platforms that you can use when you're making mobile video. Okay, one of the things that was really worked for us this year was Vine. So, are you familiar with Vine? Can we do a hands up thing? Is anyone familiar? Well, okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. So, as you know, Vine, sort of 6-second videos, perfect for looping, and it's actually led to this real sort of digital resurgence of stop motion animation, and there's some fantastic sort of creative work on Vine. So what we did this year, we encouraged our students to use Vine to make little intro videos for one another. Now, as I say, we've been collaborating for 4 years now, and we used to get our students to all pass the phone around and say, "Hi, my name's such and such from," and it was fine, but it just wasn't that interesting. Okay, so we thought, well, how do we get our students to introduce themselves to one another in ways that's going to make them want to kind of check each other out? You know, because that's what we do on the internet, isn't it? We see someone interesting and we click on their name and we look at their photos and all the rest of it. So how do we tap into that? So we actually asked all of our students to make little Vine videos to introduce themselves, and as a rough guideline said, you know, think of it as a sort of a dating site. What would you say in 6 seconds? Or the other instruction that we gave them was, okay, make people curious. How do you make people want to click on something? And it was great seeing the stuff they came up with. Some of them were just really weird, and they made people want to click. And that was one of the big kind of lessons learned for us. You know, it's way more interesting to make something kind of quirky in 6 seconds that, you know, you might just even see the top of someone's head, but they're doing something strange. That's much more intriguing and engaging than a sort of, you know, full-on head saying, "Hi, I'm Helen from Manchester." You know, that can be quite dull. So that's one of the first things I think when you're thinking about short-form content and micro-content formats. You know, creating that air of kind of mystery. You haven't got time for a full narrative, okay? So how are you going to grab people's attention? And this might sound like quite a basic instruction, but I'd just say, be quirky. You know, people like the unexpected. You know, just think different, think quirky, be weird. Okay. So somebody could really misinterpret that be weird. So if anyone gets into trouble, don't blame me. Okay. But yeah, that's one of the first things that we kind of learned through that. So that was the sort of microsecond format. But there's a lot of interesting things going on with micro format video nowadays. I mean, last year the first Instagram TV show was launched. Now, that was when Instagram video became available. And you have a whole 15 seconds with Instagram video. But imagine this, a daily 15-second episode. And believe it or not, this soap opera actually had some people hooked. And it really challenges our notions of what kind of televisual or filmic content actually means. You know, we're used to things that are delivered in 30-minute or 1-hour segments on television, or 90-minute to 2-hour films. But with the rise of kind of mobile devices, that really has been a very disruptive technology in terms of our viewing habits. And if you think about, you know, when you're going home from uni today, I don't know how you get home. Some of you might wait for a bus or a train. And if you're anything like me and you're there and you can kind of see this thing coming, but it's got another stop and you're a bit bored, you're not going to start watching something that lasts for 30 seconds. But if something comes into your stream or your feed or your inbox and it's like 15 seconds or 30 seconds, the chances are you'll give it a click. You know, and this is the thing, you know, we're consuming so much short form content nowadays. So there's a lot of rubbish out there. There are a lot of cats, as we know. But actually, if you can sort of really get to grips with the idea behind making people want to follow you or click on your work or click on your name and find out more about you because of a short form video, then you've really nailed it when it comes to engagement in this kind of digital realm. Okay, so that's the first thing I'd say. Does anybody have any questions about anything that I've said so far?
No.
Sorry. Was that no, Laura?
That wasn't me.
Okay. Right. Basically, Laura, I don't know if there's anything specific you want me to talk about, but what I've done, I've tweeted out a few links to some example videos that I thought we could have a look at. So have you got another screen there to play these, or how would this work?
Yes, Tom is the VJ today. VJ.
Tom is. Okay, so if you go to if you go to your hashtag for this elective now, and if you scroll down to, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 7th one down, which is 30-second mobile videos.
Wait a minute, you know, Tom is not that young anymore. I think it's taking time.
No problem. I'll just talk to you for a while. So I've been talking to you about the whole idea of short form content, but I specifically I was talking about Vine then, which is 6 seconds, or Instagram, which is 15 seconds. One of the exercises that I gave to the students last year was to make a 30-second video. So I'm just going to show you one of those now. And people were really surprised because when we gave them the brief, they were kind of thinking,
Okay, so we just showed that split personality one.
Katerina.
Yes. So back to you.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So yeah, I mean, we must have had over 100 of these kind of 30-second films. It was really interesting because when we gave the students the brief initially, the overwhelming reaction was, "Oh, what can I do in 30 seconds? That's nothing." And that just goes to show that you can do a hell of a lot, but it's just a different mindset. So that was a really big kind of learning experience for our students, because for my students particularly, they've been sort of thinking in terms of film or TV show length content. And to find that they could make stuff that was kind of really engaging and quirky and snappy in 30 seconds was kind of, that was a real game changer for them. And a lot of them use various apps in the process, bits of kind of stop motion, time lapse. So that's just one example there of the 30-second stuff. The next one I was going to show you was, it's actually a collaboration between one of the students and Philippe in Colombia, and they made a mixed reality mobile mentary, basically comparing a part of Manchester with a part of Bogota, Colombia. One of the most surprising things for me was being in rainy Manchester. We think of Colombia as being somewhere that's always sunny, and it was just as grey and rainy as our place. So that was interesting. But what I love about this is, it's the fact that it's Philippe, who is, he's a lecturer and he's an award-winning mobile filmmaker, collaborating with one of the students. And this really wasn't about, you're a student and I'm a tutor. It was just about people with an idea working together. And that's another really important takeaway, I think, when it comes to, collaborating across open and social spaces. It kind of, in a sense, can really blur those boundaries between students and tutors and all the rest of it. So have a quick look at this now. I don't know if you want to show the whole thing, Tom. I usually just show maybe the first minute or so, but it's the 1, 2, 3, it's the 6th tweet down. This is Philippe and Morgan.